Right. So I'm going to do a video review of the movie The Silence. The movie The Silence is on Netflix right now. It just recently came out. And I felt the need to do a movie review on it because of what was not in it. Because of how similar, well, no, let me not say similar. How close of a type and kind of movie, if that makes sense, to Birdbox that it was. Uh, that's kind of what made me want to do the review. And because of Birdbox, which I'm actually going to be referencing at certain points in this review, even though it is off the cuff, it's just spur of the moment. Because of Birdbox and because it is in a similar vein to it, but it doesn't have some of the things, a lot of the things that Birdbox has in it, that's what kind of prompted this review. Now, first thing you know about me is that I am not one to go to the movie theaters. The only thing that I would go to the movie theaters for is probably the Marvel movies that keep coming out, and I don't even go to the theaters for that. Okay. The next thing is that, so all the Marvel movies, I see those when they come out on Netflix. So there's that. The next thing is I have a little mom and pop theater that is nearby me. It's actually walking distance, in all honesty. Maybe it's like 5 minutes drive if you hit all the lights from my house here to there. It's one of those really small movie theaters that you have to pay cash for, right? And that was probably the last time I went to a movie theater because my girl wanted to see, what the hell was that movie? That movie with the dude from Queen, forgot the name of it, but the dude that died of AIDS, going through his life and the whole band. So that was nice, and we were the only ones in that theater. We went late at night. And it was nice. We were the only ones in the theater. It's like a private theater. It's our own private. Anyway, so that was the last time I was in the theater, and that was several weeks back. Before that, it must have been years. Honestly, years. So I am not one to go to the theaters, right? I am also not one to, what's the best way to put this? I'm not one to go with the mainstream movies. Like, I like finding stuff that's off the beaten path, movies that's off the beaten path, right? And I've had to also look to international movies. I've been spending a lot of time in the international section of Netflix because I kind of got through all the documentaries, right? And so think of it like this. I don't mean off the beaten path like Human Centipede off the beaten path. I don't want to go that far off the beaten path ever again, okay? But off the beaten path, like, say, The Ritual is probably the most well-known, unknown movie or niche group movie, type movie, right? More or less. So stuff like that, but mainstream stuff from Hollywood, no, I don't really do that anymore. So then, now that I've wasted enough time with that, a little background on my movie tastes or preferences. Let's get into it. So, the silence. Okay, wrote out a few things here. The first thing that I happen to like about this movie, much like a lot of the movies that I see, is that there are no main face. There are no well-known faces. The one main character, well, one of the main characters. I'm sure if other people see him, they'll know who he is. I have no idea what his name is. I can't remember where I've seen him before. But he was the only person in the movie that I recognized. So I kind of like that with movies now. Kind of like getting rid of the titans of industry and the old and established and getting in some new people. And by new people, I don't mean new people like, oh my god, they just started acting, right? Not like some D-list movie made in somebody's camcorder, no. But people that would probably never have seen before. Like, none of the people in that movie short of the main guy, and you'll know who he is, the guy with the big, huge head. Sorry, dude. Uh, those are not some names you name those names. It's not Denzel Washington. It's not Brad Pitt. It's not, I don't know. Give me another one. It's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not, well-known names. So that was the first good thing. The next thing is that it got me to thinking what Netflix is trying to do, and I have actually two prevailing theories with this movie, and because of Bird Box, the previous movie, although they're not related. It has me wondering what Netflix is going for with these kinds of movies, and I'll give you an example here. Bird Box, what was that? Loss of sight, right? Or not so much loss of sight, but without sight. Okay. And then this movie is essentially without sound. Well, that's 2 out of the 5 senses. So Bird Box dealt with sight and the lack of it. This one deals with sound and the lack of it, insofar as you can't make any if you're going to stay alive, right? So then you have 3 more senses to go through. Touch, taste, and smell. Right? So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to make some movies based off the loss of, or not even loss of, but the disabling of those senses in order to survive. Right? And then you tie it all into one giant movie where it's like you can't use any of your 5 senses, try to survive this apocalypse. How's that going to work? That would be interesting. Now, an alternative theory to that, or a second theory that I have is, okay, again, Bird Box, but this time it's not so much the 5 senses, but more Bird Box, see no evil, right? This movie, The Silence, is, well, they can't really talk, so I guess it would probably be speak no evil. Or it could be hear no evil, because the people weren't deaf. They just couldn't. So yeah, I guess this one would have to be speak no evil. Okay. So I guess whatever third movie they put in the future would have to be hear no evil. So I guess the people would have to be deaf. But maybe the hearing and the speaking is kind of similar, because in this movie there was heavy sign language. The movie was essentially half sign language. So that was quite interesting. But yeah, those are the two theories that I have on how it's going with that. 2 more points to this about this movie. One is that I wasn't being. There was no stance or idea. I mean, okay, they kind of slam on theism and made theism look slightly off. Okay, fine, but I guess. But for the most part, they didn't go shoving anything down your throat. Okay. They didn't go shoving any kind of stance or ideology down your throat or anything else. And this is where I preferred it over Bird Box. Not because I can't even say that I'm pro or anti any kind of stance or whatever, but it was just a movie. I mean, let's be honest. This movie, The Silence, it's not like The Matrix when it first came out, the first one, okay? The graphics were good. It wasn't like some D-list movie graphics where it's like I could do it and I have zero video editing experience or I have zero special effects experience, like zero editing experience short of Windows Movie Maker here, which I actually don't have anymore, so I need to find a new program for that. They don't have it anymore, and that's why this video isn't really being edited with anything. I wanted to show a picture of it, but I reset my PC and Windows Movie Maker is not supported and you can't download it anymore, and I don't want to take the risk of downloading it from some third site. So there's that. Anyway, back onto this. it's not throwing anything down. It's not forcing anything down my throat. In Bird Box, come on now. Anybody who watched Bird Box, you can't tell me you did not see all of the different pandering to everybody, all of the different. You got the LGBT in there with the gay Asian dude. Okay, fine. You want gay check, Asian check. Okay. You have what else? You have the Indian doctor. Okay, fine. Standard issue Indian check. Okay. Doctor. Okay. You have the Trump supporter. Okay, and I'll be getting on all this stuff again in a little bit when I get deeper into the last part of this stuff. It's just so many different things. So many different things in that movie that was right there, you know, being shoved down your throat, and you just got tired of it, right? The Silence was just a movie. That's it. It was just a movie. Just a movie. Didn't try to get me to be pro or anti anything. Didn't try to get me to think this way or that way. It was just a movie, and that is why I liked it so much. Part of the reason why I liked it so much. The other part of the reason is because finally it was something that I found to watch, because Netflix is getting kind of boring now. It is getting very hard to find things on Netflix. So that was nice. And now, the last thing, and I want you all to stay with me on this when I say this, because this is going to be quite interesting. Short of the train scene, okay, there's obviously no spoilers because this video is almost done and I haven't gave away any of the movie yet. So there's no spoilers in this. But short of the train scene, okay, what I've come to realize was that there are no black people in this movie. Short of the one black guy I remembered from the train scene, right? The movie was pretty much 100% white. Now, I don't have a problem with that, and there's a very specific reason I don't have a problem with that, and it comes back to Bird Box, okay? Okay, so then there was the one black dude in the train, there was the one Asian lady with the baby, and she decided to go with the baby out of the train and decide when shit was about to get too serious to try to come back in. I don't know what made her think that they were going to let her back in. What the hell are you talking about? Go watch the movie. Did I not just tell you there were no spoilers? Right. So short of that, one Asian, two Asian, the Asian baby and the woman, which I thought was Michelle Yeoh for a second, but no, it's just some Asian woman. I checked the credits. Pretty much 100% white. Here's the reason why I don't have a problem with that. And this goes back, even though this is a movie about this is a review of The Silence, and 5 stars for them. This goes back to Bird Box, and really this is just a gripe not only with that movie, but also just Hollywood in general, and just media as a whole, really. In Bird Box, if you'd notice, forget the fact that there was not a single black woman in that movie, which again I also don't have a problem with, and I'll just explain that one out right now since that's going to be the quicker of the two. I'm glad that there were no black women in Bird Box, because chances are she would be the fat, loud, obnoxious, belligerent person that apparently Hollywood likes to depict black women as all the time, or damn near all the time. Okay? The only other way that they portray black women as, if it's not that, it's what is that cartoon? That cartoon that, oh god, what is the name of that cartoon? Basically like some kind of sex doll. Like think Fran from Final Fantasy 11. Think there was this one adult cartoon that was kind of making fun of Had Zelda be a gay guy, had Pikachu in there. You all know what I'm talking about. And then there was this one black girl that was just this sex-based, highly sexualized thing. So it's pretty much just that. Those are pretty much the two depictions of black women in media in Hollywood. Okay, either the hot jungle fever type, right? Thin with the curves, jungle fever type, right? Chances are she might have some animal print or something, maybe some tribal stuff going on. Or if there are some white women or perhaps just non-black women that don't want to feel threatened, right? Don't want the men looking away from them, then you have the fat, overweight mammy type, okay? They didn't have any of that in Bird Box or this movie, and you know what? I'm quite happy about it because, really, if that's the only way you can portray them, then I'm quite happy to just not see them in there at all, rather than them getting that bad portrayal. Now, so that's the end of that. In Bird Box, what were all the problems? Well, let's run through it. You had this single mother, which I mean, hell, I don't really even care about. I mean, although being a single mom is not anything great, neither is being a single dad, right? And the only time I think that's going to be excusable is if the person that you were with died. Not because you left or they left or whatever. Right. But my problem comes with the two black people in that movie. Okay? And this goes back to the portrayal of now black men in Hollywood and and just in media in general. And it is one of a few things. Okay, black women pretty much have just those two things, either sex toy or fat overweight mammy that's just loud for no reason, for loud sake. With black men, you have, in this movie, there were two of, I think at least three or maybe even four different types, okay? The first one, one of the main ones, is essentially the buck. If you saw Bird Box, you know who I'm talking about. I think he was military trained or something like that. This alpha male buck, which isn't really a problem in and of itself, but the moment shit goes down and then they get to safety, what does he do? He immediately starts going after the white girl. Why the fuck is he checking if she's okay or not? Oh, I guess demonetized because I cursed. Okay, YouTube. Why the hell is he checking if she's okay? Okay, she's alive. Isn't she okay? She's fine. And he's insisting on checking if she's okay. Why? It's not some hot, young, nice, thick-bodied, tight white girl either. No, it has to be the older, looks have less power in the looks and sex department, plus no power in the looks and sex department because her ass is pregnant with some other dude's kid, and yet here he comes, S on the chest, capes flapping in the wind, checking to make sure she's okay. You all should have seen Bird Box by now, so if there's a spoiler, or if it gets spoiled for you, too bad. He then later goes and sleeps with this woman after she went and had this kid. So years go by while they're still in this weird supernatural apocalypse type shit. And he's there, he essentially went and decided to be some foster dad to this kid, I guess, or something to that effect. Okay. What the fuck is that? Okay. And then, of course, we have the next black guy. Fat, of course, nerdy. And he just happens to know all this shit about some bullshit spirit, this crap that's going on outside. He happens to know all about this. You know, it's never some practical, real world stuff. It's always the dude chasing after sex. You know? Or the spiritual feelings dude. And one thing that I also hated with that movie is that both of them went and sacrificed themselves. Why? Why? What is it? What the hell is it with these movies and black dudes always having to sacrifice himself to save everyone else? Why? I mean, we didn't get enough of this from the 90s, the black dudes always dying off. You had the Trump supporter. Actually, yeah. Let me finish this up. What are the other two things that Hollywood or just the media likes to portray black men in? Men in a dress, black dudes in a dress, emasculating, effeminate. So you go from the big bats on big blacks, to quote Kevin Hart in his most recent, as of this video, most recent comedy special on Netflix. So you go from the Mandingo, Ronnie Coleman in his prime with the muscles, big bats on big blacks, sex dude, big alpha male buck, right? You go from that halfway point, fat, spiritual, oh my god, the demons, the spirits, okay. And then just straight up dude in a dress. It's never just something regular. This is the reason why I like movies with two actors in there, because these two black male actors never did any of that bullshit. Denzel Washington and Michael Jai White. Those two. Yeah, of course, there are probably others too, but those two specifically. Those two dudes, they never had any of that bullshit going on. Okay. So what else is wrong with that thing? Okay. What the hell ever happened with that Latina cop, of course, and the meth head rocker or whatever the hell he was supposed to be? Hate each other so much, but yet they're fucking, and then they went and ran off. Whatever happened there? You know, just the Trump supporter. You have the Trump supporter. And of course, you know, he had the gun and all that stuff, and they made him out, to seem like such a bad dude. Yet here it is, he was the one that was saying all the stuff that would keep them alive. No, don't trust them, don't let them in, blah 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 blah. And I caught that. Okay. I pretended like I didn't know what that was about. The one dude that's saying all the stuff that'll keep them alive happens to be the one crazy dude that probably would have let them burn anyway, while him and his wife stayed in. And hell, he lost his wife because she decided to go and save somebody else. I know the kind of message that they were trying to put out with him. Okay, not just the whole "oh my God, Trump build the wall" type. No, but another message that they were trying to put out with him. Okay. And I think all of you Trump supporters and you types, you all know what that message is as well. For all the ones that don't worry about it. So many things in Birdbox, so many things that I just got tired of. I just got tired of it being shoved down your throat. Okay, I won't even get on the other pregnant woman that was fat as hell and was living this privileged life, and oh my God, what am I gonna do? And the hidden meaning behind her. Okay, but all that, bringing it back to this movie, The Silence, there was none of that. And you know what? If that's what it takes for there to be none of that, for it to just be all white people, you know what? Fine. You know, You can portray black people in a better light. You just choose not to. Okay? It's fine. If this is what it takes to not have this kind of crap, be they whatever social stuff, be they whatever racial stuff, be they whatever religious stuff, again, they did kind of slam on theism a little bit in the silence, but whatever. You know, if that's what it takes, fine. Fine. But this movie gets 5 stars because, okay, it's something to watch. It keeps you company while you're having dinner. Okay. That's when I watched it. I watched it after I finished cooking some food for myself, and let me just turn something on to keep me company. Fine. But the fact that it didn't have any, it was like Bird Box with the whole weird, it wasn't so much supernatural as more just some weird ass creatures that, you know, hadn't seen daylight for God knows how long, and they got fucked up and came out here and started acting crazy. But in a similar theme to Bird Box, but without all of the pandering, without all of the hidden stuff behind it. It was nice. About the only thing that I could possibly think of with this whole hidden thing behind it is, okay, I'll say it anyway. This whole idea of heading north. Heading north. These creatures apparently don't seem to do too well to the cold. Okay. Will they adapt to it? And, well, we'll just have to see who adapts first. Okay. But, you know, it's interesting. It's an all mainly white movie, and, you know, the girl kind of was like, oh my God, the worst place to be is in the cities, isn't it? So they had to move out and white flight their way to the north, to where it's colder, to where they don't get, okay. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. You know what? Fuck it. I'll take it. Fine. If that's the kind of hidden message that they might want to put out, that kind of message, and again, if you all, those of you who know what I'm talking about, fine. For the rest of you who don't, truly don't, and I'm not just playing dumb, don't worry about it. Still, okay. Still a better movie than Bird Box because it just wasn't so fucking blatant. If it had any kind of hidden messages at all, it wasn't so fucking blatant to the point where it's like, Jesus Christ, just. Can you just get the movie? Can the black guy live? Can he not go saving people? I mean, hell, the white dude isn't going around saving people. He's the one with a fucking gun. You know, like, why the hell do you feel the need to save? No, fat, white, spiritual, nerdy nigga, do not go saving people. Save your own self, you know? Nobody else... nobody else was doing that. The build the wall motherfucker, he wasn't trying to, he was trying to stay safe and let all you burn. The drug addict dude, he's sitting there getting some 5-0 pussy. He's there banging the cop. They went and ran off. You know, probably getting it in before they die. You know, like, nobody was thinking of saving anybody. Can we just not, I don't know. The movie was nice, 5 stars. Silence, go watch it so you all know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm sitting here going off. For all of you who haven't watched Bird Box yet, y'all are late. But 5 stars from this movie simply because of what it didn't have in it, not so much what it did. Later, one last thing. Windows Movie Maker is now, I did not download it. I tried looking in my hard drives of all the programs I've had since like 2000. I really need to delete those. But Windows Movie Maker is not in there, and that is what I used to use to edit my videos. the few times I did do any video editing. I've tried a couple of other things and none of them are working. The stuff that's built into Windows 10 sucks, and I would like an official copy of Windows Movie Maker. So if anybody knows a link to where that is, to where it's just the program official from Microsoft, even though they denounce anybody else who has it, since they're not doing it. Just want the program, don't want program plus keyloggers plus spyware plus virus plus whatever. So if anybody knows, or if anybody knows of anything better, a better program to use, that would be much appreciated in the comment section. Anyway, that's it. Later.